All right, this is an update to my popular video on how to get backlinks for your Shopify store for free. I'm updating it for 2025 and I'm going to go through a couple of the points right here. I just want to highlight one of the biggest wins I had building backlinks is using featured.com. It allows you to create a profile and essentially turn you into a thought leader. You can share your insights and ideas to different articles and publications, and believe it or not, I earned two backlinks from entrepreneur.com featuring my intellect as a marketer and a CMO for free by using feature.com. I was bought in once I realized I could build backlinks using this tool, and I'll go over to some of the tried and true methods that we had here in the past. But feature.com has helped me earn about 30 backlinks in 90 days. I think that's pretty good for industry-specific, high net worth websites, which can really move the needle for your SEO. We found out in the Google algorithmic video leak that backlinks do matter, so it is important, which is why over the last 100 days or so, I've been testing different backlinking strategies, which are actually old school backlinking techniques to build some real good backlinks. And it's been phenomenal, and the results have really started moving the needle. So let's get into the video. So a backlink is really just a link from a website going to your website. It's like a vote, okay? This is the most common thing about SEO. It's essentially how you move up in the positions on Google. One of the things you have to realize that it's crucial to build credibility for your website, and it has to be relevant. Getting backlinks from websites that are irrelevant will not help you. So first and foremost, check out feature.com. That was a great one. It can help connect you with journalists and bloggers so you can reach a wider audience. That's one of the lowest hanging fruits I would say businesses have. Each one of those mentions and quotes really help, but you also have to understand what you're getting out of the backlink building. And I'll tell you, one of the things about backlink building is you have to consider domain authority. There are a lot of websites that are going to rank differently on Google, and they come up for more keywords. So the more relevant a website is, such as an entrepreneur.com for my business, it is worthwhile to consider in learning these metrics. The metrics range on a 100-point scale, but usually if the website ranks higher, it's going to be better. Some metrics you can look at for free is Moz, SEMrush, or Ahrefs to determine how strong your website is in terms of its search ranking potential. And that's why websites with higher DAs, a score closer to 100, linking back to your site, is a strong indicator for the Google algorithm to consider your website as something that should rank for more keywords. And they'll do this methodically if you're ranking for more and more backlinks. There are some other things such as page authority. For instance, if there is a particular blog that talks about the benefits in your industry and it features all of your competitors, that's a good place to actually get your website on, or at least reach out to that website and do a follow-up. The theory here is certain pages on websites have more authority. They come up for more keywords. So if somebody's linking to your service page, that's a strong indicator to Google that people trust your services and it's worth taking a look at. Now, there's also a spam score. Google has dozens of spam algorithms that look at different sort of criteria. There's some antiquated ones that Google ignores, such as keyword stuffing and things like that. People used to put things into the HTML to have them come up higher in Google. It works to some degrees, and there's always been different variations of it. It's the Russian nesting doll of SEO, I would say. Then it became content spamming, and now it's AI content spamming. And all of those things are really short-lived because one algorithmic update from Google means all of your traffic can turn off. So you need to avoid unrelevant websites because you're going to start coming up for keywords that don't matter for your business. This happened to us early on in Zima Media because Zima Media used to be a blog that I managed poorly because I wasn't focused on the sales and the thought leadership and that thing that actually customers want from an agency, we just focused on a lot of random things. And once we got aligned with a content strategy over 10 years, we really refined it and got it to a point where we're really satisfied with the results we're getting. If you are a cooking site, you don't want a large Hadron Collider blog or science blog linking to your website, because then you're going to get a lot of hungry scientists wondering what's going on here when they're just trying to split the atom. Don't confuse your traffic, don't confuse your audience, and especially above all else, the golden rule of SEO is what we're doing here is not to confuse Google. It's amazing what you can achieve by being really focused and really direct. So take everything you have and really simplify it. Put it into a couple bullet points, and that's your execution, because the more convoluted your marketing is, and that's explicitly around your communication, the less likely you're going to come up for keywords. And furthermore, you're going to have poor results because you could also be confusing your customers. So it's important to really just start with what your competitors are doing or what the leaders in your industry are doing, because they have the data to support it. And that's what SEO is. You take the best data available to you so you can rank higher on Google. If you don't have the best data available, well, your competitors surely do. And you can analyze your competitors and at least get some benchmarks and touch points to help you reach your goals in 2025. Couple tactics you need to avoid. In PR, we have something called payola, where you basically pay to play, and that's not ethical, and somebody that has the most money can essentially rise up on top, which is why there's a lot of fair play and policy when it comes to media, different types of media and advertising. And we keep an eye on this, because if we put it through our lens as marketers, we avoid paid links. Paid links is just speculative marketing, okay? I call backlink building speculative marketing because I only spend a few hours a week on it and I generate some great results. There are some people that spend hundreds of hours a month and they get okay results. Some of them get great results. But what's the ROI on effort? Well, a couple of links. Well, what's the ROI on that link? Well, it costs this much money to get a link. Why not just put it into ads if you're spending thousands to acquire links in terms of time, energy, and effort? Because backlink building is just like sales, which is what I like to stress to my clients about this tactic. And don't get rose-colored glasses about backlink building being the definitive strategy, the tier 1 strategy. There are spammy sites that'll give you a bunch of backlinks for free. If you want to do it and figure that out, go ahead. You want bot traffic, go ahead. You can figure this out. I figured that out 20 years ago. I lost money, tens of thousands of dollars on all of these little hijinks, so you don't have. And again, I want to stress the importance of relevant links and not irrelevant links. One of the things you also have to consider is building a list of those websites that are influential in your industry and start building relationships and reaching out to them. Sometimes you might be in an industry which isn't on Google. It lives on social media. I'm building a website right now for Loaded Pop Pockets, which is a spin on the Pop-Tart, and it lives on social media. It doesn't necessarily have a website. There isn't too many, well, they have a website, but they don't have too many competitors, and it's mostly product driven. It's not communication driven, and that experience, the foodie culture, really lives on social media, but you can still grab a lot of attention there if nobody's talking about it. And I found a couple of keywords they can use to position their website. With that said, if there's nobody in your industry talking about your product, services, or solution, and you're the first one to do it, well, that's also another way to reap the benefit of SEO. Thought leadership is something that gives you high ROI. Now, here's some core link building strategies. You can build high quality content. You will come up for content keywords related to a specific blog article, resource, white paper that you put up on Google, and it's going to at least entice some interest where they're going to link back to your site, and that's the compounding effect. You get more links, you come up for more keywords, you get more traffic, more people are going to link to you, and it's a perpetual circle in a sense. You can get your content boosted by doing boosted content, boosted paid ads, boosted Facebook ads. Think of it like this. You have a blog or an article and you just put $2 a day on it and you do it for like a year. and you look back into it in a year and see how it's done. It does give you more impressions. It does get you some click-through rate and some engagement. Is it going to move the needle? Well, it's hard to say, but at least it gives you an edge over your competitors that may already have SEO, or competitors that have already implemented this strategy and you're just playing catch up. Some people will say broken link building strategies are important. There could be a website out there that has a link relevant to your business that's linking to a competitor. Your competitor went out of business, therefore you should reach out and try to get featured in that particular article, because this goes back to page authority. So broken link building, it's a lot of effort. If you find a site with a high page authority that comes up for a lot of keywords that likely leads to transactions, well, you want to get featured on that particular page. If you can't get a broken link building strategy put together, those same publications could write an article about your business. So you have to really start probing and making those relationships. Guest posting is still valid. Does it move the needle? Again, speculative marketing. You should do that. You should contribute content. You should share content, non-branded content, branded content, sponsored content. You have to figure all of that out. We used to use Haro and help a reporter out. That was a SEO agency secret weapon. They have closed their doors as of 2024. So you have to look at thefeatured.com or other players that can help you with PR and PR backlinks. Testimonials and reviews are important. I think this is more of an unlinked mention. You might have a customer or a vendor that mentions your business on Google and you feature and highlight that. That also signals to the search engines social proof, and it's also a great way to help boost your credibility, because the more reviews you have, the more testimonials and more proof of results, the more likely you're going to lead to a transactional sale and help you grow your business. So, there's some advanced tactics here. There's reverse image searches, see who's coming up. There's expert roundups and interviews, and there's also resource pages which you can create as almost like a little university. A lot of the time, building a university on the topic and your expertise that you're trying to turn into a transaction is a great way for you to build some momentum, especially if you use your website as a jumping off board to social media, because you don't need to have a website that's churning out tons of blogs. You just need to have a couple resources to get people back to your website so they can feed your remarketing lists and lead to more engagement down the line, because they can see your ad or your remarketing ad and click through and actually turn into a customer. For Shopify, social backlinks are really important. Pinterest, and really leveraging all of the tools available to you with Shopify. The schema integration, the data integration are bar none to other platforms. Of course, you can build this on a WordPress, but Shopify is incredibly nimble when it comes to deploying a complex infrastructure for a fraction of the time it would take and the fraction of the cost it would take for a developer to implement the same thing. Don't get carried away with your Shopify, and save some of those development dollars into marketing, because that's really what's going to help you fuel the next iteration of your website. So you have to really monitor your results, and if you're monitoring it consistently and you have a couple of these keywords that you're tracking, you're going to come up for more on Google. The thing is, the keywords you're going to want to rank for, well, it could take years for you to come up for those keywords on page 100, on page 10, on page 1. It really depends. So really follow the data and try to make more niche content as well, because niche content starts to come up more. And if Google is telling you to focus on niche content, well, there's likely a gap in terms of the search engine results, which means it's recommending your pages more. And the more content you have around this particular topic, and the more expertise, the more credibility, the more social proof, you're going to really succeed on Google. And to close on this is, you can actually, one of the best tips I can give you is go to Google and start searching for Google Sheets for guest posts and things like that. If you start searching for different keywords for link building or your industry, you'll find a lot of interesting free Google Sheets that people are sharing. And from those lists, you can actually start clicking around and figuring out what website could help you with your rankings. At the end of the day is, you're going to have to craft an email, reach out to a website, and keep up with them, almost like a little CRM, and make sure you're following up with them. You can see how that can get a little obnoxious, because the same effort you're putting into backlink building, you can be putting into sales, when advertising is a little bit more an autopilot way to generate more traffic and sales and results, when backlink building is just a manual knocking on door tactic. And you can see, what's the opportunity? Is doing more sales valuable, or is backlink building valuable? Do you want to earn a backlink from an entrepreneur and get a featured spotlight of your business? Or do you want to get one deal closed that opens you up to hundreds of new orders each month? You can see that one email, it's the same amount of effort, but the reward can have so much more upside. So stay vigilant, look out for those lists, and start clicking it around. You have to really test and see what works for your business before you can really achieve the results you want on Google. Google is not a tier 1 strategy anymore. If you're a new website, it takes years. Your website's going to be sandboxed for 6 to 12 months. So it is a mountain and a challenge to climb now, which is why we recommend doing some boosted posts and paid boosted content on Google and other niche platforms as well. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this with your mom.